Welcome. Today we're beginning a deep dive into something quite specific, anticipated regret.
That's the preemptive worry, isn't it? The feeling that a choice you make now might turn out to be a mistake down the line.
And what's fascinating is how it seems to ramp up when you're faced with lots and lots of options.
It does seem quite counterintuitive. We generally expect more choices to lead to greater satisfaction, more control.
But the reality often is different. It can lead to this profound hesitation, this fear of choosing wrongly, locking on to that future potential disappointment.
And this anticipation, this fear, it can genuinely stop us in our tracks. It becomes a barrier, a form of paralysis, preventing action, preventing growth.
It's a significant issue in our modern context.
Absolutely. Our minds evolved under very different circumstances. Think scarcity. For most of human history, choices were fewer, often driven by immediate need.
Not the overwhelming abundance we often face today.
Precisely. We're navigating a world of oversupply, a landscape brimming with possibilities. This shift from limited options to seemingly endless ones can overload our cognitive systems.
So instead of feeling liberated by choice, we can feel anxious, hesitant to commit.
That's the paradox.
And this paralysis you mentioned, it isn't usually a sudden stop, it's more subtle.
Like a persistent whisper.
Yes, a voice questioning every potential path, playing out endless what-if scenarios. What if this goes wrong? What if that other option was better?
Which effectively stalls any real decision-making. You get stuck.
It's crucial then to recognize that not deciding, that inaction, is also a choice.
It absolutely is, and it carries its own significant consequences.
Such as?
Well, stagnation for one.
Right.
You don't move forward. There's also a potential erosion of self-confidence over time, and of course, the straightforward loss of opportunities you simply didn't take.
So, engaging, making a choice, even if it turns out imperfectly.
Even if it leads to some actual regret later. That path often yields more benefit, more learning, than staying frozen. Imperfect action is usually better than perfect inaction.
Given how powerful this anticipated regret can be, the natural question is, what can be done? Are there ways to manage it?
The material points towards some, perhaps, unexpected strategies.
Like minimalism, for instance.
Indeed. Minimalism isn't just about decluttering your house, though that's part of it. It's also about decluttering your choices.
Intentionally reducing the number of options you engage with day to day.
By consciously choosing fewer, but perhaps better options, whether possessions, commitments, or even information stream, you simplify the decision-making process. It lessens the cognitive load, the sheer weight of potential future regret.
Focusing on quality over quantity applied to decisions themselves.
That's a good way to put it. And complementing this external simplification is an internal practice, mindfulness.
Bringing awareness to the present moment.
Correct. Cultivating that focused awareness helps diminish the power of anxieties that are rooted in the future, which is exactly what anticipated regret is.
By grounding yourself in the now, you can connect more with your intuition, maybe. Cut through the noise of those hypothetical futures.
It shifts the focus from what might go wrong to what is happening right now, allowing for clearer, perhaps more intuitive choices.
Then there's this idea of micro decisions. It sounds interesting.
It is. It's the practice of making small, low-stakes decisions quickly, deliberately.
Like choosing what to eat for lunch without agonizing, or picking a movie promptly.
Things like that. The goal is to build up your decision muscle, your confidence in your ability to simply choose.
So you get more comfortable with the act of deciding itself.
And that practice can make larger, more significant decisions feel less daunting, less fraught with that heavy potential for regret. You've built up a kind of decisiveness.
Let's look under the hood a bit. What's happening psychologically?
Well, anticipated regret really fires up the prefrontal cortex. This is the brain region, vital for planning, complex thought, imagining future possibilities.
So it goes into overdrive simulating outcomes.
Exactly. It runs through potential scenarios, weighing pros and cons, imagining future feelings. While this is a useful human capacity, it can become completely overwhelming when dealing with many options or high stakes.
The brain gets stuck in simulation mode.
Leading directly to that choice paralysis we've been discussing.
Behavioral economics also sheds light here, doesn't it?
It does. Studies consistently show that when people face too many attractive options, their tendency to just opt out, to choose nothing, increases.
Even if one of those options is clearly beneficial.
Even then, the fear of regretting not choosing one of the other appealing options becomes a powerful motivator for avoidance. You see this in consumer choices, career decisions, relationships.
And this isn't just a mental exercise, it takes an emotional toll.
A significant one. And potentially physical, too. The constant mental churn, the low-grade anxiety, it can contribute to problems like insomnia, irritability, even burnout over time.
Because the mind and body react strongly to imagined negative outcomes, not just real ones.
Your system responds to the threat of regret, real or anticipated. It perceives it as a stressor.
This brings us to a really crucial idea: reframing regret itself,
Moving away from seeing it purely as failure.
towards viewing it as feedback, as data.
Precisely. Growth, personal development, it's rarely linear. It often involves trying something, having it not work out as hoped, learning from that, and then adjusting your course. Regret in this sense is just information about your preferences, your values, the consequences of certain actions.
So the anticipation of regret could actually be useful in a way.
It can be an opportunity for self-reflection. When you feel that apprehension about a future choice, ask yourself why. What's the underlying fear?
Is it fear of failure, fear of judgment?
Often, it connects deeply to our self-perception. A fear of being the kind of person who chooses wrong or misses out. Exploring that can reveal a lot about your core values and insecurities.
Ultimately, then, the act of choosing is vital, even if the choice isn't perfect.
It's fundamental. Making choices, dealing with the outcomes, learning from them, that's how we build resilience. That's how we shape who we are.
Whereas inaction,
Inaction leads to stagnation. You don't learn, you don't adapt, you don't evolve in the same way. Your identity isn't forged through avoidance.
it's been said that anticipated regret is like the shadow of the self that never acted.
A powerful image. Or a ghost of potential, haunting the present with what might have been if only you'd chosen differently, or chosen at all.
But regret, or the potential for it, is just part of being human, isn't it? We can't eliminate it entirely.
No, we can't. But we can choose how we respond to its anticipation. We can choose to act despite the fear.
To learn from whatever happens, to keep moving forward.
Exactly. And remember, every choice you make contributes to the story of who you are.
And critically, every choice you don't make also shapes that narrative.
So perhaps the only regret truly worth fearing is the one that comes from letting fear itself dictate your life, preventing you from realizing your potential.
The call to action, then, is to choose. Choose boldly, perhaps. Learn always, and grow through the process.
Recognize that growth involves both the peaks of success and the valleys where lessons are learned, often through choices that didn't turn out perfectly.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Deep Thoughts Podcast. I hope you found insights and inspiration to take with you on your journey of self-growth. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to follow us on social media to stay updated on new releases and exclusive content. See you next time, where we'll continue to help you grow and explore your full potential.